So as I conclude, I want to particularly note the excellent work and advocacy of the Native Farm Bill Coalition. This is over 170 tribes and Native groups that have worked together to improve how USDA and farm programs work with tribal governments and Native producers, from farming and ranching to nutrition programs, rural development, and forestry. This is incredibly important work, especially because too often Native voices have not been heard in this policy development. In 2018, the Farm Bill changed that. Under Chair Stabenow's leadership, the 2018 Farm Bill included over 60 provisions that benefited Indian country. And this was a huge success, and we learned a lot from that. And this next Farm Bill has to continue that progress. Members of the Native Farm Bill Coalition are visiting Washington just this week to testify to our responsibility in Congress as defined in our treaty and trust obligations to include Native farmers and tribal governments in decisions about agriculture and forestry. We need to listen to them. It is actually our obligation to listen to them and to right the wrongs that have been perpetrated since the beginning of federal farm and nutrition policy and long before. Tribal self-government is an essential step here. So self-governance, what it does is it recognizes that tribal nations' authority to administer federal programs, they have that authority within their own communities, and it recognizes that. This is not a new idea, Mr. President. It's worked successfully for over 30 years and is widely seen as one of the most successful federal Indian policies that we've moved forward. And it works because it recognizes that tribal governments are in the best position to know what their communities need, and they know best how to deliver them. This is called 638 Authority. Folks may have seen this on people walking with buttons around the hallways talking about 638 Authority. What it comes from is the Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act, and it says that tribes can have the authority to plan and conduct and administer federal programs. So the 2018 Farm Bill created several self-governance pilot projects in forestry and in nutrition programs. These were very successful, and they should be made permanent. Chair Stabenow's bill does this, along with also including many other provisions to recognize and respect the role of tribal governments and Native producers. And we can do more, and we should. With expanded self-governance authority, tribal nations will be able to build food systems that address food insecurity. They will be able to increase access to indigenous foods and to use indigenous knowledge for forest management and to support strong tribal economies. Tribal leaders often say, "Nothing about us without us." This value must guide us as we pass a 2024 Farm Bill. And I will continue to stand with Native leaders so that we can continue to make progress and pass the very best Farm Bill possible. One that respects our responsibilities to tribes and to Native people. One that keeps farmers farming, families fed, and rural and tribal communities strong. We have a lot more work to do, but we've made progress, and I am ready to keep up the work with my Democratic and Republican colleagues to pass a Farm Bill that delivers on this promise.